Alright guys, it's me, it's the Tycoon, coming back to you with another review, and this is of Ahsoka episode 5. We've gone past the halfway point now, and you know what? This episode was interesting, because it was 2 episodes combined into one. The first part of it is, in short and simple terms, it's a continuation from episode 4, where you pick up with Ahsoka and Anakin Skywalker, and you're thinking, what's going on here? Clearly what this is the in-between parts, does she, because Anakin's asking if she wants to live or die, as one of the openings, and he's trying to teach her one final lesson. And of course, as they're battling lightsaber to lightsaber, there's a point whereby they go back into time, and you explore Ahsoka when she was 14 and a little bit older as well, 2 separate points. And during these points, where is the initial Clone War, where Ahsoka is still learning as a Padawan and is following Anakin Skywalker's lead, and Anakin's still teaching along the way. But then you see him twist and turn, and you see shades of Darth Vader in there as well, where the dark side of the Force is definitely taken over, and he's pushing her to choose whether it's life or death. Then time jump to another part where she's obviously a little bit older, maybe a year or 2 older, but it's the Battle of Mandalore, and you see some great little elements to the Battle of Mandalore, including Ahsoka's skills having developed as a Jedi warrior, taking out the Mandalorians. Further to that, if you're a Battlefront 2 fan and you saw the mods there, they're brought to real life. Sorry, that's just me having a little bit of fun. The Stormtroopers looked like the mods from Battlefront 2. But moving away from that, you then carry on with the actual journey, and along the way, you see Ahsoka's history and the relationship she had with her master, Anakin Skywalker. It's interesting, the lessons that are being taught, and of course it goes back into battling her when she's full-grown Rosario Dawson. And then from there, you do see the shades of Vader coming through, and he is pushing whether she wants to live or die. Of course, she chooses to live, and that was the lesson that he wanted to give her. That just look to keep living. You don't give up. They find Ahsoka in the sea, because basically, and this is where the second half kicks in, because that first half was really good. The second half is where I kind of started to feel, alright, that they're losing the pace a little bit, once they found Ahsoka. So they used the kid, who's Harry's son, and they did explain Harry's son's power, because his father was a Jedi. I didn't know this. I'm glad that they went into that, because as a casual fan of the series and a casual fan of the Star Wars universe, I wouldn't have gone in depth into discovering all these characters and stuff like that. So it's good that they actually did explain these kinds of things. So they find Ahsoka, bring her back, and again, it's good seeing Uncle Kim from Kim's Convenience actually being a Star Wars fighter. It's really cool seeing him in this. But now, when Ahsoka recovers, this is where it starts to get a little bit, the pace slows right down to the point where I'm feeling I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm not totally sure why. Yes, the Senate for the New Republic has to bring them in because they've disobeyed a direct order. They weren't able and done a mission without letting anyone know. So of course they have to be brought into account on this. But to stall it, to stall the the New Empire's fleet from taking them in, Uncle Kim goes to meet them halfway, stops them, and explains to them what's actually going on, which is Ahsoka is communicating with space whales. Yeah, at this point I'm starting to think, alright, I think I'm falling asleep here, because it takes so long to get to that point. and it really drags. And once you've got to the relevance of what the Space Whales are doing, then, you know, it kind of, at the end it makes sense, but really right throughout it, you're thinking, for real? What the hell's going on here? So, you know it's a plot point, but they could have sped it up even more. They could have shaved off like 5-6 minutes of getting to the point, or at least make the suggestion right at the beginning. These Space Whales are here. They can travel different, you know, through different galaxies at a high speed, and we can catch up with XYZ and blah blah blah, and all the usual bits and pieces. Because one of the things that Ahsoka's skills are is using her powers to discover any imprints of memories left on physical items. You know, I thought that was a nice plot point, would be the way of doing this. It's a plot armor device, definitely, but it worked. So Ahsoka knew, but then using the whales to get there, it was like, okay, I feel like I'm doing a Matt Walsh when he was talking about, you know, the Little Mermaid being translucent and being an absolute idiot. You know, but we are talking about Star Wars, so anything is possible, anything can happen. But the good thing about Star Wars in the original trilogy is that they did take the time to explain why these things are here, so the audience understood the universe a bit better, especially those who are not, you know, the die-hard encyclopedic fans. And just a little bit more time to build this up would have been good. And of course, they fly off into space, or, you know, and the fleet is taking evasive maneuvers because they didn't believe it at first, and then they finally see it, and it's like, oh my god, what is really going on here? And then they fly off into space to go to see where Thrawn is, and that's where the episode ends. It was a longer episode, but it, you know, like I said before, it was a tale of 2 episodes in one, and they could have saved the second part, or could have reduced the time that it took to get to, you know, seeing the whales, understand what the whales are about, and using the whales to get to another galaxy. They could have reduced it. It just felt too long at that point. But it is what it is. Let's see what happens in the next episode. As always, guys, let me know what you think, you know, in the comment section. If you've made it this far, which I'm glad that you have, let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, follow, subscribe, and if you guys still don't know how to do that, then you don't need to go back to school. So says the Tycoon.